So let's talk a real story from a family that I just finished working with. So this family, it is a mom, a dad, and a 5-month-old boy. We'll call him baby C. So before we started together, our first initial call, mom was telling me that baby C would not transfer into the crib. So every time that they tried to put him to sleep, they would rock him or hold him until he fell asleep. And then once he was asleep, they would try to transfer him into the crib. And 9 out of 10 times he would immediately wake up and they would have to start the whole process over again. So anytime he was going to sleep, it would take them maybe 40 to 60 minutes in order to be able to have him just initially fall asleep and then wake up 20 minutes later if it was a nap. She was telling me the effort that they were putting into getting him to fall asleep was so much greater for like the return that they were getting, which was just a small amount of sleep during the day and then a little bit longer stretches at night, but maybe 2 or 3 hours at the most. Then she was telling me that because they stopped like trying to transfer during the day because it was so much upfront effort for just that small 20 minutes, that then the other thing that happened was then they became nap trapped. They could not do anything during the day because at 5 months old, he was still taking such short naps. So he would take 3, 4, sometimes 5 naps a day. But during those naps, they had to hold him the entire time and not move and not talk so that he wouldn't wake up. So it was definitely taking up a large amount of their day. They felt like they couldn't get anything done because in the short time that he was awake, they would want to play and engage with him, but knowing that they had to get a ton of stuff done because once he fell asleep, they weren't going to be able to move and do anything else. And then the last thing that she talked about was his feeding. So we talked about how he was a 5-month-old and maybe one feeding was realistic at this age. But she also told me that he was growing, he was gaining, he was a very good size for his age. So she really didn't feel like he needed to be feeding overnight, especially 2 times overnight. So that was something that she wanted to wean because she was really ready to just go for gold and completely sleep through the night. Be able to put him down into his own crib, have him fall asleep on his own. And she said, I know that he doesn't have the skills. He's never been able to do that. It's not something that he once had and lost. He's never been able to go down on his own. So I want to work on helping him learn how to develop these skills so that he can then fall asleep independently and be able to keep himself asleep anytime he does wake up. And then she wanted to wean the night feeds too. And what I told her about that, which if you've watched any of my other videos, you know, I don't under 6 months like purposely target the night feeds. Typically if you're doing multiple, we'll move them down to 1. But I love when children wean those night feeds on their own. It feels really good to parents. You're not taking away a feed. You're not denying your child who may be hungry. And for the children, it just makes it really easy when they're the ones that are doing it and they're not awake and upset looking for food and we're saying no. So it works really, really well in my Sleep Made Easy program. It just works. Children get it super quickly and they wean those feeds on their own and it just feels good to everybody. So in the way that I work is I give families my 14-day sleep plan and they follow that sleep plan for the 14 days while I follow up with them daily to make sure that the strategies are working. So during these 14 days, we saw so much magic happen with baby C. On night 2, he slept 8 hours straight for the first time ever. Mom was shocked. She could not believe that only on night 2 he made such progress. And then he woke up for one night feed and went right back to sleep. On night 3, he slept through the night. And he slept through the night every single night since then. So what we really targeted were the naps. Naps always take a little bit longer to come around than night, and his night progressed so quickly. There really wasn't anything we need to do more for the night, so you just started sleeping through. But that's how quickly things can change. Once you have a plan and you know exactly what to do, there's no second guessing, there's no confusion on anyone's part. It comes very, very quickly. So if you know that this is where you're stuck, you kind of waver between, should I let them cry? Should I pick them up? Should I feed them? Then having a plan is going to be a game changer and a very fast game changer for you. Then because we moved on to the naps, ideally for a 5-month-old, I would love them on a 3-nap schedule and each nap being about an hour long. For the first 2 naps of the day, she was able to put him into the crib, walk out of the room. He fell asleep completely independently and then slept for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes every single day. So she had time to do whatever it was that she needed to do. She could clean up the house during the first nap and then just rest and relax during the second nap. She could plan dinners and do online grocery shopping during the first nap, and then, I don't know, organize the house, clean up, exercise, do yoga, whatever it was she wanted to do during that second nap. Because knowing that you have 2 consistent naps that you can count on is a life changer. And then that third nap, we left it up to whatever we want it to be, because I do want families to still be able to be flexible with their naps. I want naps on the go. I want naps in the stroller, in the car seat, in the carrier, still in arms, because if they're too good at their crib naps, they're never going to be able to sleep anywhere else. So we still need to teach that flexibility in there. So this was Mary's story with her 5-month-old baby C. It was such a success story. I was so happy for them. Mom just gushed and gushed about her experience with me. So if you want to know more about her direct quotes, I put them up on my Instagram page at BabyOandI. So you can always go check my past posts and see exactly quotes from Mary and what she said about her experience working together. And if you are ready for this same transformation, when you are ready, all you have to do is go down below in the description. There's going to be some information, or you can just comment like, I'm ready, and I will reach out to you and get you the info on exactly how to get started so that you can be sleeping through the night in the next 5 days. And I will see you in my next video.